And it's funny you use that frame, the work. And what we mean by that is what I've just said, basically, that incredible willingness that's needed and the action of that to go to those places that we've been kept safe from. That is the work. I think some people's idea of spiritual life is, you go to a retreat or you have experiences and then you try and the expect, they're all good and they're all true, but without the work, you're just in a lottery of maybe I'll win, 1 in 1,000,000 and have that experience again. The work is the bit where that's not enough to just wait for luck or life's grace. We are actively involved in this process. It's just the way it's made. It's just the way we're made to get back to the source, really. Yeah. And there's different stages on it. You can be interested, you can be fired up, you can be inspired, but the fire is this stage that Colum's mentioned, where it just becomes so the most important thing in your life, because it becomes before anything you do or anything you are, anybody you're with. It's about who's living and what, because otherwise everything you're living will go through that filter and it will be blemished and colored by it. So it's primal in the true sense of the word. It's before that life. And yeah, you get to a point where there's nothing more important than it. And it's almost like the heat under the pot gets turned up and the impurities come out and the fire, and it gets hotter, and the need to get to the root of it, and of course part of that is more stress and more, but the other half part of it is something's happening. I've just seen this definition on my desk from ages ago that I quite like. Mystic, a person who seeks by contemplation and self-surrender to obtain unity with or absorption into the deity or the absolute, or who believes in the spiritual apprehension of truths that are beyond intellect. That's very relevant, isn't it? Just happen to have that there. The spiritual apprehension of truths that are beyond the intellect.
You'd have to maybe surmise that most spirituality is bypassing, really, is an intellectual game, or of getting it intellectually, or imagining you're getting something, or it's bypassing.
What makes you say that, Colin?
Well, to see what you have to do to really get back to the natural state.
Yeah.
How many are going to make that journey, really? Well, that's why this is so small. It's it's not for the faint-hearted.
What you're saying points to the fact that you can be into spiritual stuff. You can be really knowledgeable in it. You can even have had experiences that were powerful, and yet avoid what we've been talking about today, going there.
Yeah.
So there's this sort of stopping off point where you created a good, metaphorical good life spiritually. You got a good act going, and you're kind of, the personality is still fooling you that you're surrendered or something. I mean, this is the real nub, I think, of what we're saying, that you can think you're someplace. Yeah, you could think you're free, for example, when in fact it's just that you haven't faced the shit. You can have the illusion of that. I don't even call it shit. I mean, faced the wound. It's not shit. It's just what happened, but it's powerful. So the real litmus test is that one that's willing to keep seeing, keep going, because otherwise you stay on the level that you've kind of, it's found itself on. You know, you've gone so far and you've seen so much, and then you just stay there, and that's like not enough. That's not enough. I don't think the opening ever stops, really, ever. But as I've said before, there is a kind of stage where the fundamental thing of taking yourself to be this personality you've crossed that line. There's a fundamental stage of that. But in terms of the mystery of life, it's obviously, and also in your psychology and from your past, there's still things, you know, there's residues, there's things there. It's not that you're suddenly free. I'm feeling, as I'm saying this, it's not that all of that is wiped clean, boom, gone, that's it. And that is what is often sold as this, isn't it? You know, the perfected master sort of idea. And the weird thing you find out is, oh, it's not that. Because you can still have these residues of painful feelings, and a dream shows something up. You think, oh my God, I didn't even think I still had that. But still the dream is telling you, yeah, there's something going on there, you know. And it's your attitude to it. It's like the ability to keep seeing whatever and never to take it that, oh yeah, I mean, it's preposterous to even think like, yeah, I've done that now. I'm never, it's never going to happen. It's an ongoing, unfolding mystery. Yeah, but there is that kind of line. There is that exists kind of in the relative level, but it's a doorway to the absolute, I would say. That line. The personality itself can't conceive of this.
Right.
Because the personality is the, you could say, the absence of knowing this. So even to perceive it, you have to, at least for that moment, be beyond the reach, the confines, the walls of that structure and that dream. Even if it's just for a moment, just, this is why something that keeps coming up as I'm talking to you in sessions and stuff is that, you know, it's like, what's the next step? What's just being able to see something opens a door. Even if it's seeing, oh, I feel really stuck or something, or seeing how walled in you are, the act of seeing it is part of it dissolving, or the first step of it. So I guess this kind of relates to what I'm saying, that the personality can't see that, but the one that's seeing is beyond personality.